Hey, welcome to another edition of Keep It Real with Coldwell Banker EvenBay Real Estate, where we share our 25, 30 years of experience with Janice and I about the hottest topic in the industry. Hot topic today is home values on the rise. Is it going to be a bubble? Is it not going to be a bubble? Everybody's talking about it. I don't care if I'm at the gym or in a restaurant or at a family function. You hear everybody in the background. The buzz is about home values and how much they've went up. First, full disclosure, I am not an economist. I do not have a crystal ball. I am not psychic. I cannot tell you what your home value is going to be in the future or next year. But we can talk a little bit about facts, statistics. I can share my thought with you on what I feel and what I see and my finger on the pulse, in the housing industry. But let's start with one of the coolest statistics that just came out, and you're going to hear more of if you haven't already, is the increase in property values, specifically in the Mahoning Valley. I got to get that right. So the Mahoning Valley property has risen almost 28%. 28%. I think the national average was from a national association was about 15%. Locally, in our local market, 27.7, almost 28%. Now, we could talk a lot about maybe why that is, but I think, everybody knows our property value probably locally was lagging behind a little bit. So it's a combination of what's happening industry-wide all over the country in supply and demand, and our property values were so low. I think a combination of both is equaling almost 28%. 28, you gotta understand, 28% on $100,000 is $28,000. So $28,000 per 100, if you're talking about a $200,000-$300,000 home, boy, that's worth now, 285, when it was 200 just a year ago. So give you a really good idea of what's happening. Now, with that said, I keep hearing more and more comparison to the last housing crisis from 2008, 2009. Don't buy a house now. It's going to crash next year. It's not going to be worth anything. Look what happened in 08, 09. The last housing crisis, property values dropped. Let's talk reality here. What we're seeing now in housing prices and values on a rise has absolutely nothing to do with the last housing crisis that we have experienced. Let's talk about the difference. In 08, 09, property values were on a rise, but it was self-inflicted. It really, truly was. What was driving the markets back in 2005 all the way to 2008 was financial underwriting that allowed anybody and everybody to qualify for buying a home. So people who probably shouldn't have qualified for a home or wasn't financially, sound, they had no doc loans. You didn't even have, if you had a credit score of X, they'll give you as much money as you want. They were, just rolling out money left and right to anybody who wanted it and who wanted to buy a home. That was self-inflicted. That created a financial crisis, which we all know because we bailed them out of this, this crisis. But it was an underwriting issue. It was a loan qualification issue, and it caught up with us, especially with the economy on top of that. Today's market, nothing to do with that whatsoever. Today's properties increase is a complete supply and demand issue. Supply and demand. We don't have enough supply and the demand is very high. That is, can't even compare of what we're experiencing now to what we've experienced 10 years ago or 12 years ago. So let's just clarify that right now, where I get a little bit, frustrated when I hear people saying, oh, it's going to be a bubble just like before. Yeah, you just can't say that because factually, you can't even compare the two. So with that said, is it going to be a big bubble? Nobody knows. Even the best economists don't even know. Even the best psychic doesn't even know. All right, let's face it. Do I think it's going to be a big bubble? I personally don't. I think, supply and demand is an issue. We're starting to see effects right now. More supply is coming on the market. More of it is going to continue coming on the market. Actually, here's another statistic that's very interesting. From April going into May, the first time we've seen sales went down a little bit. Now that could be very manipulative, because it could be buyers are finally, they're making 6 offers and they're not getting houses. So are we really getting the statistics on how many offers are being made compared to how many offers are being accepted compared to the amount of inventory? So that's a little bit confusing there and maybe misleading. But buyers are kind of just hitting the brakes a little bit. More inventory is coming on. That's going to help stabilize things. Let's face it, I don't see a big bubble. I don't see a big crash because of the demand that is going to be out there for a pretty lengthy period of time. Our local economy, there's some naysayers. We have a lot of jobs coming in our area with Lordstown, with the battery plant, with the warehouses and distribution centers. There's a lot of jobs around here. There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of rentals. These people are going to want to buy homes for a long time. I don't see a big bubble. I don't see a crash, but I definitely see it stabilize, which that's what I'd like to see. More opportunity for buyers to have more listings out there, so it stabilizes and it's not crazy. So with that said, hopefully that was some good information, and time will tell, and we'll see exactly what's happening in the real estate market. But money's cheap. It's still a great time to buy. It's a great time to sell. Make sure you call for all your real estate needs a Coldwell Banker EvenBay real estate agent. Have a good day.